Good evening, classmates. Hope all is well this evening with everyone. The research I had initially begun involved the tabulation of information from mainly Army records and government census data, as well as primary sources that show the growth and development of the state of North Carolina prior to and after the Revolutionary War. I intended to compare and contrast the change to the population and the resulting industrialization, or lack thereof, brought by the war. And as with many projects, after beginning the research and following the rabbit holes, and I'm sure you guys are prone to as well, or at least I hope so, the thesis of this project has adjusted to show how the war in the South changed the progress and development of the South, and how the battles were fought in the South changed the trajectory of the war. The extent of the Revolutionary War influenced and changed not only the dynamics of the South from Charleston to Cape Fear River in the east to the introduction of the state of Tennessee in the west, and from Georgia to Kentucky. The war changed the land, but it also changed the inhabitants and life itself. One direct result of the war was the makeup of the household unit. The soldiers of the Revolutionary War were diverse as organization had been assembled, and the variations in social status and age brought the most direct effect on the South. There were 50-year-old farmers and businessmen, all the way to 16-year-old schoolboys. The age and ranking in society were not where the dissimilarities ended. The regular enlisted troops that fought were most notably from the north, more populous regions, where the South provided the militias that were formed by most times a local leader in the community that had gained enough support and confidence in the military-age men. These two separate factions fought in the war, separately and combined as necessities required. The original thesis would state that the loss of family leaders in the communities that were lost during the war brought an effect that would contribute twofold. One, the family farms of the older men that were lost in the fighting would result in either the division of the farm amongst the brothers, excuse me, that returned from the war or were not involved in it, or the older brother who came home from the war or was not involved in it and had claimed the farm for himself and as the oldest in his right, which dislocated any younger siblings. One reason this research interested me is it's not uncommon in this country, but it was a surprise to me. Following my ancestry back through the generations, I discovered Revolutionary War patriots. These men were farming immigrants from Germany. Not only were they willing to fight for their freedom and the freedom of their families, but 8 generations back, Woolrich Frederick Fritz, along with his friend and neighbor Valentine Leonard, both German immigrants, helped raise men in Rowan County, North Carolina to fight alongside General Nathaniel Greene's colonial troops at the Battle of Guilford Courthouse. Excuse me again. These men were the inspiration for the decision to originally focus on this area of Revolutionary War. After the Battle of Guilford Courthouse, they retired back to their respective homes, but by the 1st of November, both men had been killed by raiding bands of Tories. This brings me to the focus of the research. The thoughts of many are led to believe that the Revolutionary War was fought between the Redcoat British and the Continental Army, as has been depicted in many paintings, including George Washington crossing the Delaware. But the reasoning for that is the glorification of the battles in the Northern Campaign, I believe. The battles of Saratoga, Bunker Hill, Lexington, Concord, Trenton, and Valley Forge are on the radar of many basic knowledge individuals. The battles fought in these places were no doubt as important as anywhere fought, to exclude the Battle of Cowpens, Kings Mountain, and Guilford Courthouse is an injustice to the legacy of what the war accomplished, just as the exclusion of the non-traditional troops that gave the British regulars and loyalists to fight for their money. The conclusions reached in this research shows that the Southern Campaign was as crucial to the victory in the Revolutionary War as the Northern Campaign, and the militias and the non-colonial troops that were employed were vital to it.